Beaders, it's me Mandy with Bead Woven Dreams. In this free tutorial, I'm going to show you how to stitch Hubble, but with a checkered pattern. So, this is the Hubble Stitch here. Shout out to Melanie D. McGill for making this wonderful stitch. And as you see here, I've got it attached to some bezel bicones for the Devya Necklace. And I figured, you know, this makes a really nice pattern if you just want to do a bracelet. So I figured I would just go ahead and make a free video tutorial on how to do that. The necklace video is not free, but I thought I would do this and share it with everyone. Okay. Alright. So, let me bring it back. As you can see here, the base beads are silver and the blue beads are making a really nice staggered checkered pattern. So the silver are the base beads and the blue are the accent beads. So I'm doing one here with base and accent beads. So this is Toho 593 and this is Toho 502. PF, 593 PF and 502. So durability stays. Alright. So I think for each section of the necklace, or you just start off with 2 yards of thread. I think it just needs 1 yard of thread, but depending on how long you're making it, if 2 yards is good. If you have leftover, great. If you need to tie in more, great. But I just have about ½ a yard right now, just for the demonstration. And so what I'm going to do is pick up 2 base and 1 accent. 2 base and 1 accent bead, so 3 beads. And bring it down to my tail. And again, this is just a demo, so I have a very small tail, but when you're doing this, you want to have 12 inches of tail to attach it, attach a clasp or attach it to the necklace. So I've got my 3 base beads here. It's pretty close to the tail. Sorry, 3 beads, 2 base and 1 accent. And what I'm going to do is stitch up through that first base bead. First one, that first bead I picked up, bead number 1. And then I'm going to pick up base color bead, stitch down through bead number 2. So it looks like a little football man. And those are his shoulder pads right there, and that's his head. And that's how you want the Hubble Stitch to look when you're starting off, like that. From here, I'm going to pick up 3 of my base beads, 3 11s, like so. I'm going to bring it pretty close to the first unit here. And I'm going to stitch up to that first bead I picked up, like so. You don't want to stitch towards your first unit. You want to make a loop. And so you're stitching away. You're just making a loop. Stitching back through that first bead. So it looks like this. And then you just kind of pull the unit closer slightly. You don't have to yank too hard, but you just want to make sure they're close. And then from here, pick up my accent bead. So I'm exiting bead 1 right now. Pick up an accent bead and stitch down through bead 2. So with this football player, his helmet is red. Like here, the first one, the helmet was this almond color, and then this one, helmet is like a reddish iris color. So first one, the helmet is a base color. Second one, the helmet is a accent color. So now I'm going to pick up 3 beads, and we're going to pick up the same 3 beads that we did for the first unit. And it kind of gets turned around, that's okay. As long as you remember that the shoulder pads go up like that, you can just easily flip it back around. So I'm going to pick up the same 3 beads I picked up here, which is 2 base, two base beads, and an accent. Bring them down to the second unit, and then stitch through that first bead right here. Oops. First bead like so. And then from here I'm going to pick up my base bead color. And stitch down through that second bead. And then pull. Bring them all together. So this was the first row. The first row was a little tricky because they want to kind of flip-flop around as you saw. But when you start building rows, then it's like a snap. So now we're going to go up. We're doing a step up. So this is the bead we're going to step through right here. Oh wait, I'm sorry. My thread's going the wrong way. You want to weave around actually. So go through the accent. And then this base bead. Go through one of the shoulder pads. And then up through the head. Go through the helmet. From here, I want to pick up 3 beads. Oh no, I'm sorry, 2 beads. So from this point on, when you're adding rows, you're only going to pick up 2 beads, and then I'll show you what to do. So you pick up 2 beads, and pick up 2 base. Stitch up through the first bead here. And then you want to pick up your 3rd bead. So depending on what's below will determine if you're picking up an accent or a base. So right now, what's below these 2 beads is a base, so we want to pick up an accent, like so. And then stitch down. Then we pick up 2 beads, 2 base, and then stitch through the head below, like so. Stitch through the helmet below. Then stitch up through that first bead you picked up. And so, because his helmet is an accent, we're picking up a base. It goes right here. Do that again. I'm going to pick up 2 base, stitch through the helmet below, and then up to the first bead right here. And because his helmet is a base, you pick up an accent. And then we weave around until we exit the helmet. And I'll show you that one more time. We'll flip it over. I like working in a right to left motion. So pick up, flip it over, and I'll show you one more time. Exiting the helmet. Pick up 2 beads and stitch back through the helmet. And the first bead you picked up, and the helmet is an accent, so you pick up a base. Stitch down through the second bead you picked up. Pick up 2 base. Stitch through the helmet. And the first bead you picked up. And since his helmet is a base, you pick up an accent. Stitch down to the second bead. Pick up 2 beads. Stitch through the helmet. Up through the first bead. And in his helmet is an accent, so I pick up a base. And then you just keep doing that until you get to your desired length. And there you go. It looks really nice. I love these colors together too, they're very pretty. You see, he has a really nice checkered accent pattern going on there. And it seems kind of hard to wrap your mind around if you're new to Hubble, but you always want to make sure the thread between each unit goes under. So not over, under. I'll show you what I mean. I'll whip through it. Picking up 2 base, through the base, which is a base bead. So then this will be an accent. Stitch down through bead 2 right here. So you see the thread is going down. It's not going up out of this bead, it's going down. So when you pick up your 2 base, and then you go through the helmet, if you stitch this way, like this way, it gets really kind of like wonky and just it's not correct. Let's see what happens if I do that. I look really weird. So you see how the thread it just kind of flops around there. So stitch like so, you can see the thread right here. It's going like beneath these 2 beads, so it's not going over, it's going under. And that's how you know you've done Hubble right. It's really not a difficult stitch at all, it just takes some practice. If you're new to it, it's kind of like a new, how do I call it, like muscle memory, I guess. You know, once you are used to peyote, you know how to get started and right angle weave and so forth. So it's just a new practice, a new experience in beading if you're new to it. And there you go. So like I said, this is a demo to show you how to make a real nice pretty checkered pattern with accent beads if you want to make a bracelet or anything. But it's very pretty with this necklace. And I chose Hubble for this necklace. Thank you so much to the designer, Melanie D. McGill, who came up with this stitch. But I wanted something to kind of match the feel of the bezeled bicone, well, bezeled pearls in this case stitched together, and the Hubble just fit perfectly. So there we go. In another video, I'll show you how to attach a snap. Actually, you know what? I can do it now. Let me find a snap. Here we go. This is my snap here. I just took it apart. And this is the top part of the snap, and this is the bottom. And the top is what the bottom snaps into. You see the top is like really flat. like so. This is really rounded. So the top part is what we're going to use to stitch on top of our beadwork here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to weave around to, let's see, I'm going to pick an accent, pick a helmet that I want to go through. So I'm just naturally following the thread path. Without creating a new one. And I'm going to come out of this helmet, this accent bead, right here. Take the top part of the snap right here. And I'm going to put the tab over that bead, this bead here. And then these two holes will be on either side of the helmet. So I'm going to stitch through, up through this hole right here, like so. Stitch down, let's see, hold on, where'd you go? Sometimes snaps like to move around. Kind of have to get control of it. So I came up through this hole right here. I'm going to stitch down through this hole right here, one next to it, and then find that helmet and then stitch through that helmet, like so. So up through hole B, down through hole A. I'm going to turn it back. I'm going to stitch through some holes of the beads, like between the beads. Turn it over so you can see. And then stitch through that helmet, this one right here. And then up through hole B. Sometimes it's really easy to do it like this, so you can see what holes you're stitching through. So I'm going to stitch through hole A right here in the front and just stitch in one fell swoop through between the gaps of the beads, and then come up through that helmet, up through hole B. So I like to do this about 3 times, and then on the last pass, oops, I didn't even come through hole A. You want to make sure you come through the whole of the snap, hole A, so it's secured. And on the last pass, once I'm done, I will stitch through the helmet, and then I will just, come down through a shoulder pad right here, and then through a helmet right here. And I want to find if it's gonna work, and I think it does, because you can see like the 2 holes, the 2 bottom holes of the snap, you can see that. So I'll just stitch up through this one, and then down through the one next to it, stitching up through hole B on the front, down through A, and then back through that helmet I exited. So it's very simple. Do that again. Up through that hole. And you can look through your beadwork, you can see it. Down through that hole. And then through the helmet again. Like I said, do that as many times as you can. Like 3 times is good, but as many times as you can to get through the bead that we're attaching to. And then you can see it's nice and attached to your beadwork, but it sits under. the beadwork. Just like I do with, you know, right angle weave and herringbone and peyote, you know, just finding that anchor bead, both top and bottom, to stitch the snap to. So this is how it's done with Hubble. So where is that section? So these are, I'm going to make this a bracelet, but it's going to be the same, you know, the same process. Make a whole bunch of bezeled pearls that are going to be comfortable to make a bracelet, and then attach the section too. So that comes all together with the Devya Necklace tutorial, but I'm going to make this long enough so that way it'll make a really nice bracelet band to continue this. Or if you just want to continue this all the way, to make it just one nice, not such a thick bracelet, I think that will look great. So there you go. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment or catch me on Facebook. Alright, so hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and do take care. Oh, whoops. Goodness, went too fast. So this is the bottom part of the snap. This is what the top part snaps into. And let me go here on this side. So I want to attach this to the middle helmet. So let's see if I can. I'm gonna cheat real quick, just for a demo. I'm kind of like making up a thread path, even though I told you not to. I'm cheating a little bit. I mean, you can see that thread right there, just kind of shoot like that. But this is just so I can quickly get over here. And I've got this little bead right here. I usually like to pick up a seed bead and attach it like so. And then exit that bead I just picked up. I usually reinforce this a few times, but I'm just whipping through this really fast. And then you want to get your snap and see your holes. You have these two here that we're going to work with, not the top, just these two are in the bottom. So I'm going to stitch up through this hole and then down through the hole next to it. And then stitch back through that bead I exited by making a loop. So you see how the thread is going one direction when I come through the other side, like so. And you just reinforce that a few times, and what happens is that the seed bead actually sits, I guess you could say, within the well of the bottom on the snap. And you just reinforce that a few times, so that way, where's this top part? There you go. It looks like that. It looks nice and seamless. So there you go. That's how you would attach the snap. And you want to make sure that, let's just say this is like the entire bracelet, even though it's really small, you want to make sure the nubs of both the top and the bottom are facing up, like towards you. They're facing the same direction, because if they're facing opposite directions like this, when you go to fold it, it won't meet up right. So there you go. That's the demo on Hubble and how to attach the snap. Well, let's say demo on Hubble with a checkered accent pattern and how to attach the snap. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment or get me on Facebook. Take care. Happy beading. Bye-bye.